All right, we actually have a bit of some shocking injury news to report on. I really wasn't anticipating this at all because, as we saw from yesterday, there was no player on the injury report for practice. Everyone was a full participant who was able to go, obviously, not named Debo and those kinds of guys that we already knew were going to miss some time. But just now, Nick Wagner had it first, and Adam Schefter is also reporting on it as well. But George Kittle and Charvarius Ward, both dealing with a hamstring injury. Charvarius Ward also has a knee tied into that, but they're not practicing today. And so this an indication that they were both injured in practice yesterday? Because if that is the case, that is a really, really tough situation for the San Francisco 49ers as they're getting ready to go travel down to LA to go place the Rams, who are also dealing with a ton of injuries as well. And we already know no Debo, no Christian McCaffrey. And so, what is the status of these guys moving forward? Well, Adam Schefter's already talking about and tweeting like George isn't going to play. This is what he just tweeted out after he put that initial news out. He says, the 49ers and Rams play on Sunday in Los Angeles, and the game is likely to be without Christian McCaffrey, Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, Debo Samuel, George Kittle, Steve Avila, Jonah Jackson, amongst others. It's week 3. So based on what Adam Schefter is hearing, he's hearing that George Kittle it's not just a little nick and they're being precautious for practice, but he's probably going to be out for this game. And, we know what it is. We've been following along with Adam Schefter enough to know that he doesn't just put that stuff out there if he really doesn't believe it or has heard it. So this is you want to gauge the level of concern for George Kittle's availability against the Rams. Yeah, it's high. Because based on what is being said right now is he's not going to play. Now, it's not official. We don't have an official word on that, but Adam Schefter's already talking about like, oh yeah, well, George Kittle's not going to be out there against the Rams along with these other players, and you're like, oh boy, so this is new. This must have happened in practice yesterday. Because as it stands, we again, one of the great reports from yesterday was there's no injuries. Everyone was a full participant. It was like, hooray, considering the injuries that had already occurred. And now we have this. So to me, that tells me something happened yesterday with both of those guys. What would make that really unfortunate? If that happened in practice while they were going up against each other. And again, that's just speculation. I have no idea what happened or what has occurred here. But this really is a damper of a situation with what is going on with the injuries to the San Francisco 49ers player. It's not looking good, man. Not looking good. So obviously we have to see what is going to happen with this and what is going to come of this. But it sounds like we have to start preparing for this upcoming game against the Rams without both of those players. So quite the unfortunate situation and scenario that has developed out of nowhere. Was not expecting this at all. So completely blindsided by this news. And so obviously this is going to have an impact on a lot of different things. Brock Purdy, a lot of the conversation this week about Brock has been, oh, he's going to have to, prove that he can handle the load by himself. And that was when we thought it was just George Kittle and Brandon Ayuk with Jordan Mason. Now you don't have George Kittle. Now that puts a ton of pressure on Brandon Ayuk and George Kittle and Jordan Mason and the offensive line and, of course, the backup tight ends, which Nick Salbert, the 49ers are going to have to bring someone up from the practice squad. Obviously, Jake Tonges is the other active tight end. So, and we've seen just from these last couple of weeks, the 49ers use 2 tight ends quite a bit. It's a staple a grouping of their offense, 2 tight ends and, a fullback. So, Kyle Juszczyk, you a fullback? Are you a tight end now? Because we might need to move you down. We might need to move you around because going out there with Eric Saubert and the who's actually played well, but the untested Jake Tonges, and obviously having Braden Willis on the practice squad that you could elevate. Let's put Kyle Juszczyk at tight end. Oh boy, this is wild. Again, wasn't expecting this or anticipating this at all. I was actually feeling pretty good about the health of the 49ers heading into this game, but clearly that is not the case. But you guys let me know what you think about this whole situation, how this is developed, and what you guys anticipate will happen moving forward. Let me know in the comments below. And as always, make sure to like and subscribe for more updates.